everything has gone according to plan. We should be live on YouTube and maybe on Twitch. I have literally no idea what even goes on with our platform. Okay, I've complained about this for several weeks now, but every single time I go to stream on Twitch, I have literally the words online or like live and then offline right next to each other. So which one is it, Twitch? Am I online? Am I live? Am I not? Because right now it's just Schrodinger's stream, and it has been every single week. How can that website be so bad in literally everything it does? Anyway, I don't really care about Twitch anyway, so who cares? But all of you dear viewers on YouTube, I hope you're having a fantastic stream. Unfortunately, I couldn't do one last week because it was just an absolutely chaotic weekend. We had a lot of people over. We had like 7 additional people staying at the house. It was absolutely frantic, but we are back. It is actually going a pretty fun double stream day because we just finished doing the Minecraft live stream on the Avrona World channel. That took way less time than we all imagined because that was just like, what, half an hour of Minecraft stuff and that's it. So yeah. Go to the Avrona World channel if you want to hear all my thoughts on that Minecraft live. They're not the most positive, as you can imagine, from a show that's literally like half an hour. Didn't really showcase much of anything, but whatever. That means we just have more energy and everything to get into weekends with Avrona, which will hopefully be kind of a bit more interesting. Speaking of, I kind of tried picking out some of the most interesting topics. There aren't that many topics. However, I feel like the ones we do have, I feel they would just be interesting enough to keep this show going for a while. And also, we are going to have some guests over. Jake and Cam should hopefully be joining sometime later. And so hopefully I won't just be me rambling at you for like the next half an hour or so. Anyway, let's just go straight into it, starting with probably the biggest thing happening in the world of tech this week, and that is the big Meta announcement of the Meta Orion prototype. These things. Also, I just realized, look what the website does when you like move your mouse. You can kind of make it dance. Anyway, people have been calling this Meta's iPhone moment. I don't think I agree, but it is certainly interesting. This is the most courageous product of its kind we've seen since Google Glass in that kind of department. Granted, that's the interesting thing, and one thing I'm kind of interested about how they're going to try and spin it. Obviously, between the two, there is like no obvious like thing sticking out of it, kind of like the Google Glass had a crystal. Here it's all built into the frame itself. So even though the Google Glass is a bit more, they're a bit more low-key, right? They were a bit thinner, if I remember correctly. They definitely weren't as thick like this. They didn't stand out, apart from the crystal. These are just comically big, but the Google glasses were actually the size of the glasses minus the crystal in front of your eyes. So I'm definitely interested how they're going to try and spin it, because that's definitely one way where they just don't really add up to what those were. And keep in mind, when did Google Glass come out? Like, what, 2014? It's like 10 years now. 10 years of improvement, and this is even out here. This isn't a final product, but they are still pretty cool. No matter how they look, even if they do look just way too nerdy, even more so than Google Glass. The Google Glass just look kind of cool nerdy, like trying to be cool but still looking nerdy. These are just nerdy. But the tech is actually just insane. And I'm so looking forward to giving these a go one day. So everything is built into the glasses themselves. Mark did a whole presentation talking about how that's going to work, and it is actually pretty impressive. Basically, there's just lasers, mini projectors firing into the lens from the frame itself, and how they're all like basically these prisms. There's basically just rows of prisms within the glass that then splits the light and creates an image, and it gives a pretty solid field of view, pretty solid colors and contrast. They did end that entire segment where they invited Jensen Huang of all people to give them a go and see what they think, and he like really praised them. It was actually pretty funny. I don't think I have the clip here, and I don't think it's on the website. But everyone else they gave it to, they were just like, wow, man, these are so cool, these are fantastic. And then Jensen with his like very analytical mind, which is like, yeah, I like this, I like the colors, I like the field of view. That was pretty good. Anyway, we should probably go step by step by how these work. So yeah, these are AI glasses, and they'll be able to just do everything AR glasses can do. As you can see, just showcase things like that in front of you, giving them quite a bit of depth without having to have an entire VR setup strapped to your head. Normally, if you want to experience this, you're going to have a Quest 3 or a Vision Pro. Here, this, you know, a pretty good comparison right here. Going from, oh, what on earth was this? Okay, I skipped like a bit of the video, and all of a sudden I saw this nightmare fuel. Anyway, I'm just gonna skip right past that. So you can definitely see, where's the comparison? There's a comparison somewhere here. Anyway, so let's just let this video roll so you can kind of see what it's about. They are actually
glasses that
insane.
You'll probably use when you grow up.
Over the next 10 years, the form factor is just going to keep on getting smaller and smaller, and eventually we're going to have what looks like normal-looking glasses.
You're looking at the culmination of
I wouldn't say they look completely normal, but I mean compared to like a Vision Pro or Quest.
See, Orion is a time machine. It'll let Meta live in the future as they build the next generation of AR experiences. Now let me nerd out for a second, because this is a technological marvel. The display isn't made of glass. It's made of silicon carbide, which delivers an
there we go. It's not even
70-degree
technically glasses
field of
because it
view.
doesn't
That
use
means
glass.
Meta engineers figured out how to bend light beams in ways it does not like to bend. The frames are made of magnesium, just like an F1 car, because it's light and radiates away heat. I mean, you can't just put a fan in glasses. Orion cools itself by glowing. It uses the same materials NASA uses to cool satellites in space. You have to be absurdly determined to build something like this. But
How much is it going to cost though with all of that? That's the real question.
Beat him at Pong.
But then, of course, the full vision is you just have like a full field of view, holograms, where, you know, we're having this conversation in the future, and like I'm sitting on your couch next to you as a hologram, and we're just there, and we have this full sense of presence. Here we are.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Forgot
that was
to
kind of
mention,
creepy.
Large holographic displays.
But
The real
it's
world
getting
is
there.
our canvas. Our experiences shouldn't be limited to glowing rectangles. One day soon, we'll once again look up, connected, empowered, and present.
Okay, it got very marketingy towards the end, but still you get the whole product. Just glasses you can wear. It's pretty much the full kind of Meta AR experience you can experience so far with stuff like the Quest, but in a brand new form factor. And the form factor is really the really big thing here, because in terms of usage, you know, we definitely haven't seen too much that we couldn't already do with a Quest, but obviously walking around town with a Quest 3 strapped to you is a bit of a hard sell compared to just a pair of glasses. Again, I don't think they will be the biggest, there won't be a fantastic choice. I think many people may still try to avoid going out of them just because of how thick they are, but it's still a prototype. Maybe they will go a bit smaller before the final product releases if the engineers are just completely insane and are able to make a first-gen product that's even slimmer. The one thing I am kind of interested in, though, is the price, because obviously with all the engineering work, it's going to cost a lot. You heard about all of the special lenses made out of silicon and all the light just bouncing around to create the image. It creates a very, very convincing, like immersive depth of field effect, as you kind of saw with how that works. Not depth of field, not very well, but like how they're actually in front of you. How it's not just like an image plus in front of you. Almost like these things are just physical objects in the world around you. All of that, that's gonna cost. Putting all of that in such a small package, that's gonna cost. But however, I think that they're going to go very aggressive in the pricing to at least compete with Apple and the Vision Pro, or you know, the Vision Pro Gen 2 or whatever by the time this thing comes out. They're going to price it, so they're going to go, look, this is such a much more better experience than the Vision Pro, and it's actually cheaper by a couple of $100. That is going to be the main marketing for this. That is how they're going to say that they've beaten Apple, and how they've managed to beat Apple's idea of what a VR and AR and the future of it are. I know Apple doesn't like us using those words, but so hopefully they'll forgive me for using those words. But still, you know, you get what I mean. Anyway. Optics we talked about already. Magnesium frame they talked about. I wonder how light it is going to be with all of those like electronics inside of it. There's like pretty much all of these sensors you could ever need, and all the wireless connectivity you could ever need. One more thing I wanted to, yeah, there it is. Basically with it you get this armband right here. So instead of just doing voice tracking, eye tracking, and hand tracking, like I said, in the presentation, Mark talked about how you don't want to be yelling commands at your glasses when you're around people. That's just going to look kind of dumb. Granted, we are getting to a point where just kind of talking to yourself or talking to your tech is getting a bit more standardized because of people talking to others, you know, via the earbuds. Usually earbuds, why do I say it like that? Earbuds that are so small that you can't even see that people are wearing them. If a person is just talking to themselves, you no longer think that they're just mad or insane. You probably just think that they're on the phone with someone. So yeah, I think just like yelling commands at your tech is getting a bit more standardized. However, in case you don't want to make a fool of yourself, you basically have this armband, and you can make tiny little gestures with the hand just by your side, and you can make little gestures, and that's going to then send them over to the actual glasses and do the thing. That is going to be actually pretty awesome. Just being able to do these very small commands to get what you want. Obviously, long term the solution will probably be just controlling it with your brain, with your thoughts, so you don't have to kind of do any kind of movement. However, this is obviously a very temporary solution, but at least they're making it look nice, right? It's a very similar thing to something like the Vision Pro's battery just hanging off of it. Obviously, we're not there yet where you can just have the battery with that kind of capacity in the headset. Technology is not there yet. They have to make a compromise. This is pretty much the same kind of compromise. At least it kind of looks nice and doesn't get in the way too much. However, there's one more element to it. Because while the glasses are smart, there is actually this thing right here. A wireless thingy that basically does all the compute. From what I gather, right? So it's basically just a small box that actually does all the compute. And the compute is not on the glasses. One thing that, again, a pretty cool temporary solution. However, how cool would it be if instead of having this separate box for compute that just takes up space in your pocket, that then increases the price of the device, that makes it more, just convoluted and confusing with more working elements? Why don't they just use something that you already have carrying around with you that has pretty good compute power nowadays? That also has all the wireless settings you need for low latency compute to the glasses. What could they use? What kind of device could they use that makes this kind of small little computer in your pocket not necessary? I wonder. Okay, long term, that is, mark my words, that is going to be the solution. It is going to be using your smartphone to power that thing. Obviously, there are some considerations with that, like, for example, battery life. Having this thing right here means that all of that, sometimes maybe extensive compute, will not be done, will not take away from your phone's battery life. However, battery life only goes up, power efficiency only goes up, and at the same time, I do not think that these glasses are actually going to require that much computational power, because there's like watching a YouTube video, checking your Facebook feed, listening to, like, what else they're doing here. You have like Wikipedia open or Google open, maybe using it for Google Maps. Like with Google Maps, that will basically just be doing something your phone does anyway, right? But it's just transferring it over to the glasses. It's similar how Google Maps already kind of sends all the info over to your watch, for example. If you have a smartwatch, it's not going to be too different. So that is going to be the long-term solution, I think. Just using your smartphone. And then it gets interesting about, working with companies like Samsung, like Apple, to actually make this usable there. Because it is an awesome product. However, the thing that definitely scares me the most about all of this pretty cool, like, new VR and AR thing is the fragmentation of ecosystems and how they can all work together. We already have these ecosystems forming. We have the Apple ecosystem, which is just not moving, right? So you're gonna have your Apple Vision Pro, you're gonna have your iPhone, you're gonna have your Apple Watch, and you need to have every ecosystem's pretty close. At the same time, there's pretty much, as long as everyone else works towards a very open ecosystem by comparison, right? We have your Meta and your Google and your Microsoft. They all work to create and work within the same ecosystem. So you just need one account. So you just need, one set of devices, that all the devices play nice, that you're not losing out on features by not having a specific device from a specific vendor, all of that kind of stuff. We've already seen a bit of that when Meta announced that they're basically making their operating system for VR and AR open source, and how companies like Xbox, for example, are already making devices based on an operating system. That was like mind-blowing, right? You have Microsoft announcing that they'll be making some like VR or AR product not using some kind of derivative of Windows or something based on the Xbox ecosystem, which probably means that it is probably going to be still deeply integrated into the Windows and Xbox ecosystem. Because why would Microsoft, of all people, would want to lose market share in the thing that most known for, that's operating systems, no matter what form factor, right? Be it desktops or, in this case, VR and AR accessories. Obviously, they don't want to lose that kind of operating system and general ecosystem wars. So we are going to definitely see, that's my prediction, we're going to see the two tribes. There's going to be the Apple tribe in the, pretentious Steve Jobs turtlenecks. Ignore the fact that I pretty much always wear turtlenecks, okay? And then the other tribe is just going to be every single other tech company, pretty much. Your Microsoft, your Amazon, your Meta, your QR, Samsung, Google, all of those lads working together over their own ecosystem. Honestly, let me know what you think. Would you ever buy these? Would you ever wear these? Because as much of a nerd as I am... Whoa, okay, that scared me. To order something. As much of a nerd I am, I would, and as much of a cool tech they are, they're just a bit too nerdy for me to actually wear aside. And also, I feel that they just wouldn't look good good on me anyway, just because of how thick they are. I really need like thinner glasses. Still, again, that will come with time. Obviously, they probably won't get this thin, because these are just very simple metal frame glasses, thin metal frame glasses. Obviously, we're not going to get to this kind of level of AR for at least... Okay, I'm not going to make any predictions, but at least a couple of years. At first, I want to say 20 years, but at this rate, maybe we'll get to that kind of thing in less than 20 years' time.
I think you look really funny with those glasses. Hello.
Hi. You scared
We've
me.
been listening to you monologuing for the past 3 minutes.
Okay, cool. You just didn't want to jump in.
I wanted to wait until you finish your sentence first.
And then just kept going and going and going and going and going and going. But yeah, what do you think of these?
Ugly as hell.
But they're cool though.
No, absolutely not. No, I'm sorry.
They're cool in terms of the tech, not in terms of how they look, but in terms of the tech.
Okay, in terms of the tech, it does look kind of cool, but what does it do exactly?
VR, like AR glasses, like the Quest, right?
Yeah, kind of.
From the, VR headsets like these ones in this video right here. It's basically that, but in a form factor of glasses. So.
Okay, but why are the rims so thick?
Because like all of the electronics have to go somewhere.
Oh.
Like, obviously, can't make them as thin as my glasses because where would everything go?
I mean, it's fair, but they genuinely look like humiliation devices.
But are they more humiliating to wear than Google Glass, though?
What, like VR goggles?
No, it's okay. Do you remember Google Glass? Like, back in
No.
2014? Okay, we'll
No.
quickly Google it. People who wore those were very frequently mocked.
I mean, you'd get clowned on either way, I think. They don't look terrible, they just look very sci-fi.
I actually think that that Google Glass look better than these in terms of actual form factor and looks. It had that dumb crystal in front of your eyes. However, I honestly think that it still overall looked better than this.
It just looks like something a kid would want from a spy movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the best thing is, like, these are already thick, but it isn't all of it. So you have two more elements to it. You have this band. I don't know when you join into the stream, but you have this band that you wear to do little, like, movements, gestures with your hand, right? So you don't have to, like, yell instructions, because it does have, like, voice control with, like, AI. So instead of having to, like, yell or, like, use your hand gestures, like, right in front of you, you can just do these very small gestures, you know, by your side. That way no one notices, but I need a band for it. But you also have this little thing you slip into your pocket. That's basically where all of the computational, like, happens. Like, all of the computing happens in there.
I'm waiting for that to show up on your stream.
It's just this tiny, like, I don't know what you call it, like a puck you put into your pocket. Which yeah. Like I said earlier, in probably later revisions of this product, that's probably just going to be replaced with your phone, and your phone deals with all of the computational work involved, but this is just kind of a temporary thing. But still, though, do you think that at least a different color would save these in terms of looks?
No, I feel like, so, you know, the other popular glasses colors, like the purple, white, or what's it called, red. Like, with black, at least they kind of look a little bit normal. Like, they're not as noticeable, but you change the color, and suddenly it generally just was like clown glasses.
Is Jake back yet? Oh no, he's muted. The one thing I'm kind of curious about, like, one reason why I imagine people could wear these, obviously they're less stylish than Google Glass, but I think for us tech nerds, right, I feel like a lot of people very much have a problem with starting conversations with people. I think that's fair to say, right? And these things are very much a conversation starter, for better or worse, right?
Can you check general and put that on the stream, because that is literally what those glasses look like.
What did you put in general?
Go have a look.
She just put the nerd emoji, the actually emoji.
Actually.
Yeah, you can actually roleplay as that guy. You can actually cosplay as that guy with these glasses. But no, you get what I'm saying. A lot of people who are really into tech, who are very introverted, are gonna probably like these because they're a conversation starter. Because they'll make people wanna ask questions like, what are they to wear? Like, how are they to wear? Like, what's it like? Similar to how when foldable phones first came out, when you saw someone have a foldable phone, that was a conversation starter. That was cool. You wanted to walk up to them and talk to them about it. I feel that it's going to be a very similar thing, and I think it's going to be a reason why a lot of tech enthusiasts who may be on the, on the more socially awkward side would want to buy these, even if they look dumb. That's my theory.
Are you talking about yourself, or?
I would not buy these because I don't want conversation.
You fit the description perfectly.
I fit the description, apart from the fact I don't want conversation starters. I'm talking about someone who doesn't know how to start conversations with people, but wants people to start conversations with them. I don't want people starting conversations with me. I don't want random people walking up to me and like starting conversations. Okay, that's too much stress for me. I don't want that. I know I'm pathetic for saying that, but like I don't need that in my life. However, then there's the question of what the actual use case for this will be. One thing that people had especially with the Apple Vision Pro, one thing people had a hard time justifying is what you'd even do with that in your daily life. You know, you can like we can watch content when you're like walking around. You can have like Google Maps open up in a corner. You can like talk to people like this. That'd be cool. Very reminiscent of stuff like Cyberpunk, where you just have this little, you know, video call in the left-hand corner of your just vision, literally. But like, what else could you even do with them? Like, what would you want to do with these glasses if they ever got to a point where they were like thin and stylish enough that you'd actually wear them? Like, what use case would there be?
Not much. I mean, like, you could just use your phone.
Well, the point is that this is supposed to be more convenient than your phone, right? You're not limited to just a screen. You're like living the things you're watching, right?
Yeah, but like, you think about it, if this thing becomes widespread, where would you want to use this kind of thing? I guess like when you're walking around.
Everywhere, you know, like that's the end game. Use it everywhere.
Oh yeah, but that's the point. Is like, if this thing becomes widespread, like everyone's gonna know about it. So if you're at work or at school or something, there's gonna become like bans or some kind of limitations. Like, you can't wear that in class.
Oh yeah, that's like definitely gonna happen. Well, that's actually a good point. Like, are VR headsets already banned? Like AR headsets already banned in schools, for example?
Because they're so obvious. Like, why would you wear that to school?
Okay, yeah, but like, are they actually banned? Obviously, you definitely can't bring them into an exam, but who's gonna stop you from just like walking into a classroom with a Quest 3 or a Vision Pro strapped to your head?
Your teacher.
What are they gonna do? Like, sorry.
That's how you just take it off, probably.
And you can respond saying, "Well, I'm sorry, but I'm currently seeing you in a clown outfit in my AR glasses, so who's the loser now?"
You're gonna get sent to detention.
Man, the future is so grim when it comes to this tech in classrooms. Like, it's actually gonna be insane. Also, why is my camera frozen? It froze on like the most unflattering image ever possible.
I literally can't see you in the stream.
Probably for the better. Anyway, let's just go back to the next. Let's just go to the next topic, which is this is something I definitely want your opinion on as an artist. Have you seen anything about this? The MKBHD wallpaper app.
I'm waiting for it to come up on the stream, so I'm just going to search it. How is it spelled again?
Just search a panels app. It is a... I know I already did like some videos about it, but I want to do also a segment on Weekends with Ron about it because of how dumb it is. And I wanted an opinion of an actual artist. So this is a wallpaper app, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It costs $12 a month or $50 a year just for some images for your phone. And then the justification I've been getting from a lot of people is the fact that it's supposed to be supporting artists. You know, if you see an artist doing some kind of wallpapers you like, then you'd just buy the wallpaper or subscribe to the app.
Okay, well, first of all, what you said about supporting the artist, it depends how much of a pay cut they get from it, right? Because I feel like panels probably wouldn't pay them fully.
Yeah, here's the best part. The split is 50-50.
Oh god, no. Okay.
Yeah.
So it would be overpriced in the first place, but it's just like, if you really wanted to support an artist, you just go on their Patreon and like subscribe. And most artists that do any kind of wallpaper stuff, they'll include like a few wallpapers in some kind of package. And you can get it straight from them. So it's just like, what's the point?
Well, the point is that it's supposed to just be this like experience, you know, where you can just have this one central app where you like can get inspired of all of these designs and stuff like that. But
Then just download Wallpaper Engine.
Yeah. Well, this is for your phone. You don't get Wallpaper
Oh.
Engine for your phone, right?
Hmm.
This is literally just for your phone. If it was for like wallpapers for your like desktop as well, if they include both, that would actually be pretty sweet. They actually updated the website a bit since I last
Look.
checked in.
Realistically, most people's wallpapers on their phone, at least, is like photos of themselves, their pets, their family, their partners, stuff like that. It's like, why the hell would you? I mean, like some people have other types of wallpapers, but they get it from niche places that they actually care about, like not just a random wallpaper app. They, as I said, they would go straight to the artist and buy it from the artist, or they like people who have like game wallpapers. I can't remember if Jake has one. Like he had a Sea of Thieves one, and you know, you just go somewhere and download it or something. So it's like, what's the point?
You say that, I still just have the default wallpaper on my phone. Because I'm just like too indecisive, and I'm not creative enough to think of like what to change it to.
Just look through your photo album and choose a picture of your parents or something.
That's boring though. Like that's the thing.
Or
I want something like interesting, but at the same time I'm just like too indecisive about like what I actually want.
then do what other people do and just go on Google and search HD wallpaper blank like game or fandom or whatever.
Should I just like stick the same Iana wallpaper I have on my desktop?
Yeah.
That could
Really?
honestly work.
Welcome to helping Alec get a wallpaper.
And then I have to like do it, like I need to have like the lock screen as well to match. Like I don't know, do you have a separate walls lock screen? Because that's the thing, I've never, now that I think about it, I don't think I've ever had a wallpaper that's not the default one on any of my phones.
The fact that you've said, "Oh, can you have a separate one from the lock screen?" already shows that
No,
you can choose to have.
I know you can, but like, do people have separate ones, or do they use the same image? That's what I'm asking. Because again, like, I've never changed the wallpaper on my own phone before.
I've got two separate ones, but sometimes I put both of them the same.
And like, how often do you change your wallpaper? That's the other thing. Because people have been trying to justify this by saying, you know, you have more freedom to change whenever by just having this kind of constant library. Like, but how often do you actually change your wallpaper?
I actually change my wallpaper decently often. It just depends. If I take a really nice photo, then I'll change it, like, when I have that photo. But most of the time, genuinely, I don't think I've changed my wallpaper in like 6 months. Except for when my entire phone just glitched out and it removed my wallpaper. That was the last time I changed my wallpaper.
When it just glitched out, fair enough.
It literally deleted my wallpaper. I don't know how it did it.
Phones, they're mysterious things, huh?
Mm.
Now, there have been some changes to how the app works. Another thing that was kind of egregious about it was that you had to pay for the HD version. However, you could get like a lower resolution version by just watching some ads, right?
Yeah.
So you had to watch ads to get the pixelated version, and then which I kind of get, because it kind of allows you to preview it before you get the wallpaper, which is kind of nice. But then you also have things like a paid wallpaper of just the color orange, or like just the color teal, like just a solid color.
That's ridiculous.
And you had to pay for a solid color.
You know, you could do that by yourself. You could go on like Instagram or Snapchat and then select a color on the draw thing and then just scribble all over your screen, and there you go, you've got solid color wallpaper.
Well, so here's the thing. If these kind of apps aren't working, right, if things like, you know, Patreon, they're mostly optional. People can just generate whatever wallpaper they want with AI now, or find it for free on Google Images. Like, what's left? Like, what avenues will be even left to make like money you can actually live off of?
I don't think you can, because I know when I was younger, I used to download the most random wallpaper apps, and then literally they were all free. So
I still remember the days where you had like on the backs of magazines, you had all of the different like wallpapers. They had like text or call like a number, and you like download it from there. Did you have that in Hong Kong? Was that...
old? No.
Ah. Isn't that old? Okay, that was still a thing in like the early 2000s. I don't know if it was a thing in other countries, or if it's the fact that like Poland was always a couple of years behind everyone else. But would you? Are you going to become part of this program, Cam?
Absolutely not. I'm just thinking, like, genuinely, unless it's wallpaper engine, kind of like, because you know how wallpaper engine, if you pay for it, then it's like, ooh, my wallpaper moves in the background. Like, that's the only thing that's really worth paying money for. If it's literally just this, if it's a blank screen, if it's a solid color blank screen, why is the question.
Exactly. That's what everyone has been asking themselves, and no one has been able to get an answer.
Capitalism.
Yeah. And it's just a sad kind of reminder that like what will actually be left. Again, at one point, as a actual consumer, I get it, right? You don't have to pay money; it's free. But on the other hand, like what will be actually left? What options will be left for people who want to create this stuff? Like nothing. The only thing that will be left is just the patronage of people who want to pay for that kind of stuff. It's gonna be like how in the olden days, you know, if you wanted to like do anything that was like artistic or creative, you basically just had to like have a patron, like of just a very rich person who just wanted to be a patron of the arts and who would like support you. And like that's it. And I think we're actually gonna go back to that model. Okay, next topic then, shall we? Yes, this thing. I know it has already been announced quite a while, but I haven't talked about it on the show yet, and I really wanted to. The 30th anniversary PlayStation 5. We remember like a couple of shows ago, we were talking about the return of like grey electronics, like monochrome electronics.
I don't have good memory.
I know that, but look, isn't this gorgeous?
I mean, they look kind of cool, but we seem to have established that you have a thing for monochromatic stuff.
I mean, yeah, but still,
and the sad grey aesthetic.
Yeah, that's the thing about me. I love things that are drab and grey and boring. At the same time, I like to buy all my electronics in weird colours, right? I have,
Which is
I
funny
have
considering.
a lavender phone. I have, lavender earbuds. I have like a PC that has like a light blue background and glows purple.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's funny that your aesthetic is like drab and boring, considering that your entire room lights up like more than a lighthouse.
Yeah. That's just I don't know how to explain myself. But yeah, this thing is absolutely awesome. However, looking at how good this is, I'm just looking forward to when they're going to release this for the PS2. The PS1 is cool, but I don't have any nostalgia for the PS1. The PS2, however, now that's a different story. Issue is that the 30th anniversary of the PS2 is going to be in the year 2030. And I don't think any of us will be even alive by then, seeing how the world's going, so...
Damn, okay.
Am I wrong?
I don't know, I don't want to think about it.
Hey, my camera's back, you can finally see me. Sweet. But yeah, it does look pretty good. The pricing will probably be atrocious. The other thing is that they're limiting it to just like 20,000. I'm trying to like find exactly how many limited it to, but it's something like 20,700 units. Something 12. No, not even 20,000. 12,300 units. I'm sorry.
Oh, so it's going to be extremely expensive just because it's grey.
It's going to be extremely expensive because it's only 12,000 units. The
Yeah,
scalpers
exactly.
are gonna love this one. Have they not learned anything? I get making things limited, right? And there was some symbolism to that number. I can't remember what it is, but there was some symbolism to that number. But have the scalpers of the last couple of years taught Sony nothing? Have they
There
actually
should be some.
learned?
Is there any way to, like reinforce that so that it doesn't happen? Because it seems to be a widespread problem.
Apart from just like what, making more units? No, scalpers are just scalpers. You can like crack down on it. You can have platforms like eBay, for example, just crack down on this. I saw people charging like $10,000 on eBay for the service of trying to buy one of these for you, right? Literally weeks before this thing even launched, people were like, I'm gonna charge $10,000 to help you potentially secure one of these things on launch.
But you don't even know for sure, and they're just like, yeah.
Yeah. Unless they're offering some money back guarantee, which I don't think so. Granted, it's eBay. eBay has pretty good buyer protection, but still.
That's insane.
Yeah. So honestly, I have no idea what Sony is thinking with having such a limited run of these things, apart from them just like hating money, because obviously these things are going to sell. People often talk about how this kind of limited scarcity thing is a tactic for the companies to make more money. Like, no, they don't make money from scalpers, and obviously these things are going to sell like hotcakes anyway, so why not make more of them from the get-go? What is the point? What is actually the point?
Because if it's more limited, they can probably just make it more expensive.
The pricing was already announced. It's not that bad compared to the base model. It's not outlandish compared to like a base model PS5. So again, why? Still, at least Sony's doing better than another games company.
Which one?
As people, all of us right here are heavily invested in pretty much a lot of the things that this company does. And honestly, I find this number both hilarious and kind of terrifying.
Is it Nvidia?
It's Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen what the stock has done recently?
I'm not gonna understand it.
Basically, it looks like a roller coaster ride that Jake would very much like, because it's very extreme. Like,
Jesus.
If the stock price was turned into a roller coaster, you know that Jake would go on it. Speaking of, when is he coming back? He's just been here in VC but muted this entire time.
He's probably eating his burger. It's tastes very yummy. I've been trying to eat my food without making it obvious. And I remember when you asked me, as an artist, what's your opinion? And I had a full bite of burger in my mouth. I was like, oh god, let's just eat it really quickly.
Oh, well, as an artist, I like being able to afford a burger, which I won't be able to do when AI takes over.
Yay.
But honestly, I look at Ubisoft have been pressured to sell the company, make it go private. They launched an internal investigation into themselves to see where things are going wrong.
I wonder.
I wonder if it's just going to be one of those we investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing kind of things, though. They delayed the biggest launch of the year, with Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed next year. Is it actually over? Are we not even going to be able to enjoy Rainbow Six Siege soon because Ubisoft is just going to go under?
Yeah, but my question is, because you said that they might sell it, so either is it going to be like all of the stuff is going to change completely, or maybe if they sell it to a good company, Rainbow Six Siege will actually have good updates.
Well, yeah, I don't think they're going to sell Siege. It is way too profitable. When I meant sell, I mean like make the company go private again. Take company private. However, as a desperate measure, they could sell off some of their franchises. Obviously, it's not going to be Assassin's Creed. Obviously, it's not going to be Rainbow Six or any of the Tom Clancy franchises. But
like the iconic ones.
But they can sell something like, I don't know, like Rayman, something that no one cares about. Like they could
Extify.
X-Defiant. Well, X-Defiant is based on a bunch of Ubisoft properties. You have a bunch of like Ubisoft characters and stuff like that in factions based on Ubisoft things. So it probably wouldn't sound X-Defiant. Though it's true, I literally haven't heard a single utterance about X-Defiant since it launched. So even we haven't played it since it launched, and it's like free to play, right?
I haven't bothered to download it.
Yes. We had fun with the like the preview builds, right? You ended up playing the pre-alphas with us, correct?
Yeah. I can't remember what there was something about it I didn't like, and we could aim, right? Like ADS.
Yeah, you could ADS in it.
Oh, I don't remember what it was I don't like. Maybe it was just the physics.
I don't know.
So like
but,
even Extraction, like I've re-downloaded Extraction, but just not X-Defiant.
Something about it just wasn't fun, and it's not this big new esports title that kind of that Ubisoft hoped for, with Rainbow Six kind of going declining constantly. Granted, after the last Six Invitational, just like the interest in the game just skyrocketed, but it's now again just once again fallen off a cliff, just like the stock price of the company.
I can't lie, it genuinely feels like a game you could just find on Roblox.
I don't play Roblox, but I guess that's not a compliment. Like, it's the very opposite of a compliment.
No, some Roblox games are so good, but you can tell they're Roblox games. Like, there's a certain vibe to it.
That kind of cheapness.
Yeah, that like it feels like a kid's game. It feels like a really blocky kind of like unfinished game.
I mean, it makes sense because it's just a free thing. But X-Defiant is free as well. So I don't know. Anyway, final topic. It's going to be a bit of a shorter show. They're apparently getting rid of the block function on Twitter because Elon Musk woke up one day and thought to himself, what can I do to make this app even worse than it already is? And
from what I know,
they're getting rid of the block button.
From what I know on Twitter, that's going to end with a lot of arguments.
Well, okay, apparently the way it's going to work is you can still technically block. They won't be able to interact. However, you'll still be able to see the contents of the person you blocked.
Oh, so people just need to learn some anger management.
Yeah, in a way. But still, like seeing content you don't want to see or like blocked, you know. I was never a fan. Like, I always had like a moral high ground when it comes to blocking. I feel like blocking's for people who like just can't even stand seeing other people's content. Like, how sensitive can you be, really? And now blocking has also just become a tool on Twitter because it apparently affects the algorithm. If a lot of people block you, then you will like lose standing in the algorithm on Twitter. Ooh. So it just become weaponized in a way. And then I like to imagine that basically just what happened that inspired this choice is that Elon realized he's the most blocked account on all of his own platform. And that is why he's doing this. Honestly, wouldn't even put it past him. However, one thing I saw, which is pretty interesting, is apparently on some app stores, like for example, I think this is on an Apple App Store, having an ability to block someone is on a social media platform is a requirement. So it's going to be pretty interesting if he gets into another heated argument with a company. This time it's going to be Apple over, you know, a potential ban of Twitter X on all Apple devices because of this block. If that happens, then I can't believe I'm saying that, but I'm rooting for Apple, and I'm hoping that Apple are gonna just wreck them up for this.
Yeah, it seems like, I mean, like, I don't use Twitter. I think I made an account, but I just never actually I made an art account, but then I heard some of the things that happen on art accounts on Twitter, and I was like, oh, maybe not. But from what I've heard on Twitter, it just seems like Elon Musk is just fucking it up like over and over again.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like everyone seems to hate him.
Yeah, pretty much.
Send the cat girls to Mars.
The whole situation with the banning of Twitter in Brazil, I think, sums it up. they wanted him to ban literally 7 accounts.
He
He didn't
just...
want to, so they wanted a legal representative in Brazil. He didn't comply, so they banned Brazil, and then he caved in and complied. And the best part, have you seen him suing advertisers for not advertising on Twitter anymore? Suing companies for not advertising on your platform.
That's just embarrassing.
Calling it an organized illegal boycott.
No, I haven't seen anything about it, but it does sound like something he'd do.
Yeah, it is an absolute mess, but there I am paying for my blue checkmark anyway and still using it because we're all just trapped in it. We all have Stockholm Syndrome, and as much as people are talking about all of these kind of Twitter alternatives, like I'm sorry, but like nothing at this point can actually, yeah, like in the past couple of years, has there actually been a new social media app that's been able to actually disrupt the kind of monopoly of the key few, right, of your Twitter, of your YouTube, of your Facebook, of your Instagram? Like, has anything actually been able to make its way to the upper echelons of the social media world? Like, I can't think of anything. Or maybe that's just because I don't use social media like at all.
WhatsApp.
Well, WhatsApp is like WhatsApp is just like Meta anyway, so it's all the same thing. It's all the same company.
For a moment, I forgot that the company was called Meta, and I was like, "There's no way you were describing WhatsApp as part of like the quote unquote gaming meta of real life." And I was like, I was about to cringe.
It is part of the real world meta.
No, don't even.
What's the current social media meta, Cam?
Snapchat, probably.
That's the thing. I have no idea even how popular Snapchat is. If it's considered this kind of like standard social media, you do need like something that actually competes with
Maybe
the likes
it's just
of like Instagram or Facebook or anything.
It's just probably my generation. Because like here, if I didn't have Snapchat, like half the people I know I wouldn't be able to communicate with just because they would not really use the other apps much. But for my generation, which you're supposed to be a part of the generation as well, but it doesn't seem like it.
Well, I'm not, because I have no one to interact with pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds like it, because you use Facebook, don't you? But yeah, I mean, like, some people use Facebook for their parents. And then, obviously, Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, because everyone needs to eat their food while watching a YouTube video, apparently.
Or maybe they're just like sitting there watching and completely entranced by my content. You never know.
Yeah, that's really likely.
I'm trying to see exactly how many users Snapchat has, and it apparently has 800 million monthly users. I had no idea this app is actually so big. That's actually insane.
It's because it was, I think, made for the millennials, but then Gen Z just uses it a lot as well.
But like, what does it bring that it's so special? What does it bring to the table that makes it so special that big people actually want it?
Okay, so I'll list you some of its features. It has a story like Instagram, kind of. It's kind of like you take pictures and send them to people, but you can also send them messages. But the thing is, those messages will delete themselves after 24 hours, so the manipulators love to use that. So, because like if you save,
that's why so many people use it. That's why it has 800 million users.
So if you send someone a message, their options with that message are to like save it in chat or to take a screenshot of it, both of which will notify the other user that they have done that. So if I took a screenshot of the chat, like the other person would know.
That sounds like a very risky game you're playing then.
Yeah, that's why a lot of people do like a trick where they'll use a different device to take a photo of the screen.
Yeah, like what's the point of that? If you don't want to get caught doing that, if you don't want to be caught like screenshotting something you're not supposed to. At the same time, how many things, like how much do normal people send that they don't want to be permanent, right? Like, how much you usually send to other people that they wanted it to be temporary?
Oh, that is the other, what's it called? I guess stereotype of Snapchat is like everyone just uses it for nudes apparently.
That would make sense why they want like temporary.
Yeah, exactly.
Because whenever I like send, for example, some like photos or like files to my friends, I want them to be there permanently in our chat for like future reference, or like something I wouldn't want it gone after a while.
I mean, to be fair, like you can, as I said, you can save photos and messages in the chat and like what's it called, videos as well.
Yeah, and but like, why do you have to take the extra step? Like the default should be that it stays there. The default shouldn't be it gets automatically deleted unless you intervene. Why is it the other way around? That's my question here.
Yeah, because it was literally probably made to be like a nudes exchange app because that's what a lot of people seem to use it for. But a lot of people in my generation just use it now just to chat. I guess because it has a distinct notification sound. That's why I'm like,
You
oh,
can
that's actually
change your notification sounds on your phone.
Oh, I didn't know you could do that. But
use something normal like Facebook Messenger and then just change the notification to be of whatever you want.
oh, but it's just like it makes a different noise to the standard notification sound, and it also turns your screen on so you can immediately tell. Like,
Yes,
oh,
other apps also do that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Is that the target consumer of Snapchat? People who don't know you can change your notification sound on your phone.
I think so, because as I told you, the people who use Snapchat seem to be the young kind of like popular people, I guess.
I was about to say, until you said popular, young people should be the ones that are most like tech literate, right? But then when you said like the kind of popular ones who the kind of stereotype of a person who uses tech and likes having the newest, fanciest tech, but doesn't actually understand how to use it properly or do much of it with it anyway.
That's another feature I should tell you about. That's why I think it's for like the popular kids mostly, is because there's something called streaks on it, where you just send someone a photo every day and they reply to you.
Like, that's just like the dumbest mechanic. Like, why?
I think I had a friend who used to do that with me, and she'd be like, she just sent me a photo every day. And one time, I was just like, why you send me, like the first time she sent it, she was like, oh, why did you send me a photo, and why does it have the caption streaks on it? And she's like, but it just means you send a photo to each other every day. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I watched her do it from her own phone once, and let me tell you, it was literally, she just took a selfie on the main part of the app, so like the homepage basically of the app. And then she just pressed send to, and then selected everyone in her list. And I was like, oh, okay.
I remember, okay, to be perfectly honest, I did use it for like a very short while just to talk to someone like in school a while back. And like the only like other distinct feature I remember is like next to someone's name, you had a little like icon, like a little emoji about like how often you talk to. I actually got to like the highest or like the second highest one with someone.
Yeah. That means that they talk to you a lot as well, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it didn't like level up just because you like constantly harassed someone and like didn't even get a response.
Yeah, I love
think
watching.
it had to be like a two-way conversation, and I remember
it is.
We got up to like the highest level, like the second highest level.
I love watching my little emoji next to Jake's name change depending on, because if we're both at uni, then we rarely text each other, so I never get the thingy thing. But then again, I don't really text many other people as well, so it usually stays like that. Except one time my brother overtook him because he kept sending me pictures of football stuff, and he kept using the stupidest Snapchat filters. Like the ones where you get a car on your screen and there's like a remote control. And then you just like move that car around your screen, and he kept running the camera over, so basically me. And he kept sending me those.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing. It's all like the different filters that are very popular that you get. But like, don't you get those kind of things with Instagram now as well?
I think it's the whole like face changing thing, like the dog face app thing. The
Don't you get out of Instagram? I actually don't know. I don't use Instagram either. I have a like a company Instagram, like a channel Instagram, but I just like
we saw that. We saw what you posted when we were making dinner.
I just don't really understand much of like the features of Instagram or how it even works. So
I mean, like, yeah, you have what's it called? I don't know. Can you change your face on it? I think they're basically the same.
Most of the apps are just basically the same now. Like, they're all just copying each other. You have like YouTube bringing in shorts to, you know, combat TikTok and stuff like that, and everyone having like the stories feature as well, where like they go away after 24 hours, but you can post into your profile. They're all just copying each other now. It's all the same. I'm old fashioned. I only use like to communicate with people, either Discord, which I only use to like talk to you guys, or like to talk to literally like any kind of people online, which I need to talk to, or I use like Facebook Messenger for my family and then my friends in Poland, and that's it. And I'm happy not having to use anything else. My life is so peaceful.
That's fair. I get so many notifications, and sometimes there are notifications from random apps. Like, for example, well, I guess email is useful actually. Sorry, but then some of the emails are not useful because it will just send me like, oh, you left this in your Amazon wish list, or Rainbow Six Siege daily recap, and it's just like,
that's just fair.
Hair.
Anyway, how long have we been going for? This show has been over an hour. I had no idea this show was gonna go on for so long because we had like no topics at all. But yeah, that was a fun show. I don't know if Jake's just a slow eater or he just hasn't bothered to unmute himself, and then he didn't realize he's muted anyway.
I'm playing Pokemon.
Ah, sure. Likely excuse, huh?
I am in redeeming codes online.
Anyway, that's about it for this episode of Week of Avrona. Hopefully there'll be an episode next week. I don't think I have anything major planned, so yeah, hopefully there's some more interesting topics for next week. But anyway, that's about it. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. If you did, remember to subscribe, like, whatever. And I see you all in whatever I make next. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Facing these old nights.